Tanzania, after independence, did absolutely nothing. Yes, absolutely nothing. Their first and only war was against fascist Somalia, and they lost that. For a nation that had an insane amount of potential, going from being the strongest nation in all of sub-Saharan Africa, to being surrounded by colonial powers, to being a pawn in the great game between South Africa and Somalia. Yet what if things went different for Tanzania? What if they used their potential to become the African powerhouse, pushing the Europeans out of their continent? In this timeline we will explore just that, so sit back and enjoy the scenario. The first change I will make is that when Tanzania declares independence from Pasindia, North Madagascar joins the rebellion too. This adds more people to the young nation and gives them a foothold in Madagascar. In our timeline, Tanzania greatly expanded after gaining independence, and I propose that that still happens here but with one major change. Tanzania tries to get into the Congo for all the lovely jungle trees they can use, but then they ask themselves, what is really stopping us from going across to the Atlantic? Sure, they might not have the people necessary to take all the land, but no one is stopping them from claiming it. And so it is. Tanzania sends settlers to settle the west coast of Africa whilst claiming all the land in between, and Tanzania slowly begins to build itself a very strong economy based on exporting rare African products, trading with Asia from their east coast and with Europe and America from their west coast. But the Europeans are here. Well, not really. The Spanish try to take West Africa, but the African Union tells them to back off. As Spain and the African Union were evenly matched at the time, and as they don't want to risk war, Spain ends up settling for much less than originally hoped. The African Union, Libya, and Egypt all move into the Sahara to get the land before the Europeans do, and they ask Tanzania to do the same. Over time, more and more land is taken. The Europeans finally decide to intervene to make some colonies. But with now two very strong countries on the continent, and more decently capable ones, they take way less land than in our timeline. As such, the Europeans turn to southern Africa and divide the land between themselves. Tanzania quickly moves in and offers protection to the smaller nations in the area. The Europeans take some land, but not that much. Most of the land falls to Tanzania or their protectorates. As the scramble for Africa didn't really work, we might see other scrambles take place, such as in Australia or in the Americas. In WW1 I could see the African nation siding with the circular powers, as Ukraine could help to liberate the world from colonialism. Obviously, the triangular powers would also have some support, as not every African country would be too happy with Tanzania calling the shots, so we might see some nations join the triangular powers. One country that immediately comes to mind would be Somalia, as they are a quite big country and a rival of Tanzania. South Africa might also join the triangular powers, but most likely they would remain neutral. As this video is what if everything went perfect, we'll roll with the circular powers winning the war, and the triangular powers being reduced to nothing. Mesopotamia reunites, Russia is wiped from the face of the earth, Loire might make a comeback, etc. Your standard circle victory scenario. In an ideal scenario, Pasindia still loses the civil war, removing another potential rival to Tanzania. As for the colonies, I can see them all going independent. After the war, the African Union would likely go isolationist and not intervene in whatever happens next. The former triangular powers would most likely take some extremist ideology and would start a new world war. Tanzania could either help the old triangular powers in taking down Ukrainian hegemony or help Ukraine to stop radicalism. Although I really like Ukraine, the schizoer the merrier, and so bye-bye, Ukraine. After this WW2 the Cold War would break out and nukes would get invented. Countries across the world would take sides and a lot of proxy wars would break out all over the world. The radicalists likely screw up at some point, or their ideology splits into two groups claiming that the other believes in the wrong kind of war, and eventually the triangulars fall, giving the victory to Tanzania and beginning the age of Pax Tanzania. Thank you for watching. This video was my submission to the Wixo contest, and although I didn't put a lot of effort into this video, I still hope you enjoyed it.